Steve, you do recall the month of Mega Man where we played Mega Man 8 for a month straight. And you remember, because that wasn't the best of experiences.
Right. It wasn't
So
the best?
it wasn't the best. It was good, it just wasn't the best. How would you compare, let's compare and contrast to the experience you're having right now. Long sigh.
It just,
I would skip this. This is
the only problem is I have to talk and think at the same time.
Oh, right. Let's not do that.
Let's wait till you finish.
We'll wait till you finish. So, Rob, what did you have for lunch today?
Well, I think I had tuna. You guys had ramen.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Steve and I have been burping up ramen for the last...
Steve, if it helps, the here it comes, when you have to get close to him and then dash away, because he's gonna stop and then do the AoE explosion. Dash through him. There you go.
Crash.
I actually really like the boss battle music in this one.
Yeah, that's so annoying.
Insta-death.
No.
Most bosses have an insta-death.
Yeah, which isn't fun.
Yeah. Not fun at all.
Okay, so now can you finish your thought? I want to hear.
Yeah, did it just do that for us?
Yeah, it did that
Yeah.
for us.
Okay. I mean, like, I don't play a lot of platformers. They're not necessarily a genre I love very much, but I have played Mega Man X, which I enjoy. And yeah, it's kind of been said to death, but you know, the design and how Mega Man X is laid out, it feels like we're trying to do some similar things. Whereas like the intro stage and that kind of deal,
right?
Where it's supposed to teach you some basic mechanics, and like I guess it kind of does that, but it feels like I don't know. I mean, like, it doesn't seem like what was put into the amount of effort and money, or really more money, it was put into this. What came out the other end doesn't line up really. And like, I guess it's probably because they overshot a lot of their goals and such like that. And all these stretch goals.
I just thought of like a machine that's like eating the money that goes in, and it's like shitting out.
And like, I wonder if they really did well on this.
Rob, can you draw that out?
No, I'll try.
Actually, Steve, you're a really good artist. Maybe you can.
Yeah, I'll just quickly. And like I mean, I guess the thing is, maybe I'm being unfair, but like I want to compare this immediately to Mega Man. And like,
how is that unfair?
The
Kickstarter was literally set for you to make that comparison.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess you're right. And like, when you compare it to one of the more, I mean, I haven't played a lot of the Mega Man games, but 2, 10, X, like it doesn't feel like that. It looks kind of like that. It has like this familiarity that's kind of like those other games, but I think once you start to really play it, that's where it kind of stops. And then you're left in this like uncanny valley of like, well, it looks like it wants to be a Mega Man game, and it kind of plays like a Mega Man game, but then there's a lot of aspects about it that are really just counter all of that. And then there's a lot of fit and finish stuff. Like we were kind of complaining about the cut sequences and stuff. Are they necessary? That's the first question you have to ask yourself. I don't know if they necessarily are. And they've chosen to put them in here, and they don't really feel all that refined to me. It feels kind of empty. It also feels a little soulless. You know, it's kind of like, here's some fucking people, and there's a problem of some sort with some robots, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just shoot things.
It doesn't matter.
And like it doesn't, and should it even matter? But they have started to inject these kind of story elements, and like again, Rob brought up a couple other points. There's the whole Dr. White is confused that Beck is doing things that he designed him to do, and like why is it even necessary to even bring that up?
Right.
It's just it seems like it's a cheap way of being like, oh, you can dash into enemies.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't figure out some other way to do that, like maybe just having you try it. Shooting an enemy that won't die, and then you're forced, maybe the enemy is completely harmless, but it won't go away until you figure out something else. You press a button, you dash into him, and now you've learned that. I didn't need to be sold that in some sort of cheap package. And
wasn't cheap for some of us.
Well, but I guess that's
this guy knows what I'm talking about.
And like those little aspects seem to be prevalent even in just what's been going on here. That where it's I'm trying to focus on this boss fight. I know nothing about the boss. I don't even know. I mean, I assume that's like a Mega Man game, so I don't know if I've made the right choice on which boss to fight here. But I've tried it anyway, so I want to see his move set and kind of learn a little bit there. And I got someone fucking talking to me in the middle of the thing. I didn't even pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And it's at the bottom of the screen, exactly where my feet are, because I'm focusing on the ground. Is he moving? Is he going to jump?
Is there fire on the ground?
You know, is there fire down there? And there's a fucking text box over it with some stuff that I didn't. Unless she was saying, oh, well, when he does this, do that, which would be fucking awful to do during a boss battle.
Yeah.
I don't know what she said. All I do know is that she was saying something, and I'm in a fight for my life currently. Like, I don't need you jumping in here and doing this. So, it's, again, little aspects of these small things that don't really... They feel like, is it forced? Did they have to put it, you know?
Yeah.
Did they feel like they needed to do that? I don't know.
Yeah, the ironic part is that there is one element that I actually really enjoy, and I thought it was really a really good story element, and the only really good story element I can pick from the whole game. So in Mega Man X, which is I feel like it's a callback to X, when you beat certain stages, it affects other stages, which I always thought was really, really cool. In Mighty Number 9, when you beat certain bosses, those bosses will actually come in and interject in certain parts of the stage and help make
like
it
little
easier for you.
scripted events.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's really clever.
Oh, like you're in a fire stage with a tough place, but the water person you beat, he comes in and shows up, and maybe he like puts out some fire or something.
Yep, because many of the elements that they don't even explain here, but is kind of explained in cutscenes, is that like the professor guy that made Beck made the Mighty Numbers. That's why he knows them. Like he references that he designed them to be specific ways and this and that and blah blah blah. And you don't really get that until like you play certain stages or like see certain cutscenes. But none of that's explained. So like it doesn't explain why Beck can turn them back into normal. I still don't know why he can do that. They don't explain really what happened, because I guess it's sort of a mystery as to why the robots went berserk. There's all these like little elements. It's like it's almost like, who cares? Like, it's like Mega Man, right? But even in Mega Man, I went back to Mega Man 4, which has one of the coolest opening cutscenes.
Oh, we watched that one.
Right.
I showed it to you, Steve.
Very simple, but still very effective.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched it, go search on YouTube for it somewhere. It's awesome. Like, it's the creation of Mega Man, or Rockman, and it tells the story about how he's foiled Dr. Wily's plans 4 times. Like, if you've never played Mega Man's 1 through 3, it's a great intro cutscene that's very short, but really well done for the NES. It's still really well done today, in my opinion. Has kick-ass music, has a great background story, and you just hop in and you play. There's no middle of the game, like, speeches to you like it's doing here, but it makes you feel like you understand what's going on in the game world. Even in the original Mega Mans, I mean, back, for those of us who aren't old enough to remember, back in the NES days, you would have to go to your instruction booklets to see a lot of the story. And it explained, Dr. Light created these robots to help humanity. That's why in the first Mega Man, it's like, here's like all these different robots doing industrial like sort of jobs, like Elect Man, Guts Man, all these sorts of different things. Dr. Wily transforms them to be bad robots. And then in Mega Man 2, Dr. Wily makes his own robots, and those are the Robot Masters. So like there's all these elements that like they just feel like, yeah, like just replace Mega Man with Mighty Number 9, and like it's just annoying to me that they do that.
I think if Mighty Number 9, and like again, I haven't given it a whole lot of time, but I mean I've heard a lot from you guys, and like you're very passionate about this and invested also. But I think if Mighty Number 9 has taught us a couple things, it's one, that you got to manage your stretch goals, and 2, AI is a bad idea.
Oh right, yeah, that is true.
Like we got to stop. If
how many movies, games, books have taught us this? We are fast tracking to this awful domination.
Right. Every time we have AI, I don't think it ever ends well.
And let's keep this in mind. There's no reason for this, by the way. They have, in the very beginning, it says robot battles have been confined to this. So let's keep this. Let's think about this. The humans made the robots. And they
didn't make any kind of robots. They made warrior robots
to fight
other robots.
Isn't that horrible?
I mean,
technically we have done that.
If you're saying from an ethical standpoint, like BattleBots, if you're saying from an ethical standpoint about the feelings of the robots, sure, because it is gladiatorial combat. But in reality, so we're going to build robots that we need to build so good and so good at killing that they can kill other robots.
Yep.
And then they can just turn around and just liquidate humans.
He literally designs the sniper robot in this game to be undetectable by robot radar. Call says, I've lost track of whatever the I keep forgetting.
Steve Blum.
Yeah, Steve Blum's robot, Nightshade or whatever, or Night Trap, or
it's
what does Retire do?
Yeah, Retire brings you back. Countershade brings you back to the level select. So like, he mentions that. So this man created a robot killing machine that's a sniper that can't be detected by anything. Why is that a good idea? Why would you do that? At least for Dr. Light, it made sense.
I like that we're getting into like the canon of the story at this point.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's ridiculous.
No, but I mean, like, you know, with something like this that's supposed to be such a large budget title,
Yeah.
that's supposed to offer so much. The leaderboards and the cross, there was like all this stuff they added.
They added a co-op mode, but you have to beat the whole game before
including
you get
the
to
bonus level with Call,
before you can even unlock it.
Which is also confusing if you don't know that if you didn't pick up on the fact that her name was Call like early on when she's talking to you on the telescreen here.
Right.
It just says Call. So I'm like, oh, am I receiving a call?
Oh, that's funny.
For a moment, I was like, it kind of confused me. But you know, does a game need to be? So it really is. I really feel like this could have been great, but the project got so large so quick, and all this stuff that is really unnecessary that they lost sight of what they were trying to do and trying to make a good Mega Man game.
Yep.
You know, a good Mega Man style game, and they had so much horsepower and so much potential.
Right.
But you know, like even like all this animation, this is absolutely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Almost every screen of this game has something that really didn't even need to be there to be successful
But this guy's
at what
so
Mega
jolly.
Man. He is, but we're in a fucking robot apocalypse here, Jordan. Like this isn't time for jolliness.
In the movie version of this, I want John Goodman to play this character.
Nice. Very
I was hoping for a reanimated John Candy, but that's something we'll have to discuss.
Yeah. I think we've beaten that
I think
horse.
we've beaten this. Guys, thanks for so much for playing.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for.
Wait, why are we wasting? No
more thanking.
more thanks.
And like, rate, subscribe, share this with your.
I mean, thank you for listening / watching, but fuck everything else because
remember,
it's just.
#1 not-for-profit YouTube channel. Just remember that when you share this with your family and friends, that we're not here to make a buck off of you. We're not here for you to watch ads.
Unlike those other channels.
Unlike PewDiePie. Unlike
we're not naming anyone.
We're not naming names.
Yeah.
Except for PewDiePie.
Except we're not.
Sure.
There's some names.
Okay.
But there's no. He said we're not naming names. We'll name a name.
A name.
There you go.
So
Thank
we
you.
go.
Thanks, guys.
if you like more names, you can tune in next time.